of the 10th season of IMARA Woman Magazine TV. We are delighted that you are here. I'm sure you see some familiar faces here at this table. These are our co-hosts, Donna Ayers, Angela Carr-Patterson, Jessica Martinez, and yours truly, Wendy Brawley. We are missing Kelly Seabrook today, but she will be back with us for our next show. We've got an exciting show for you today. There has been a lot that's going on for women. Some of it not so good, others of it very good. They say, as a matter of fact, that 2018 is the year of the woman. Now, I don't know about you, but I say it's about time. What do you think? It's about time. So what do you think about this year of the woman? They said women are making inroads in politics and business. There's just no career untouched where women aren't excelling. Comes with a price, as we all know. But will 2018 really be the year of the woman? And if so, ladies, what difference would that make in our lives?
I think it makes a difference in everybody's life when a woman excels. You know, we've probably discussed this before on the program, but if you want something said, ask a man. If you want something done, ask a woman. So I think that we are gifted in our ability to multitask and to think about different things at the same time, address different issues, whether it be at work, at home, with kids, with family. And so I hope it will be the year of the woman. We'll see.
Yeah, I believe that, especially for us boomer women, that
yes.
were born between 46 and 64, I think this is really our year because we actually make up 75% of the nation's wealth. Yeah, we make up 75% of this nation's wealth. 91% of us, 91% of the population that purchase homes, 65% purchase cars. We lead in, where it comes to finances, that is where we are very powerful. And I think when we can use that and leverage that for change, I think this is the year that we need to come together and leverage that. You know, we are the wealthiest, healthiest, most active population of women in the history of this country.
That's amazing. I had no idea that our numbers were that high.
They're that high.
Well.
Yeah, they really are.
Well, I mean, I just saw Black Panther, and let me tell you, Wakanda forever. Those women were fierce, and I just loved it. I love the part when she threw her wig. And she kicked a lot of behind. But what I'm saying is just that I think this year, as a matter of fact, the Webster's Dictionary online said that feminism has been the word of the year just in March. So people, millennials, boomers, women all over are finally rising. They said that there's been so many women applying for roles of leadership in the political, professional arena. I mean, women all over the world are just, rising up.
I think it's good, and I think it's about time. And to be honest with you, I can honestly say that the stats already in politics for women vying for political offices are the highest they've ever been in this nation. And even in South Carolina, who we rank almost dead last in terms of the number of elected women that we have who serve in the General Assembly, this year we have 27 women that are serving in both the House and the Senate. And even though that number sounds small when you're talking about 170 members altogether, that is the most women we have ever had. I think women approach leadership a little differently. And not to take anything away from the men, I'm married to a wonderful man, but we believe in collaboration. We don't draw the same kind of lines in the sand. And I think our country needs that. I don't know about you, but we are so separated and fragmented that nothing really gets done the way it should. And I think if more women are elected, that we will see that change. I hope so, at least in South Carolina. Like I said, we're making some strides. We're still way behind given our population. But, slowly but surely, women are beginning to see that they don't just have to work on campaigns. They can run for office. And that's a good thing. That's a really good thing.
Representative Brawley.
Hello.
Right.
Yeah, it really makes a difference.
So we'll be right back. Stay tuned.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
Welcome back to IMARA Woman Television. We have a very special guest here, but I want to talk about the Me Too movement that's uncovering the stories of women who are finally speaking out about sexual harassment and assault in the workplace. We applaud these women for their courage to speak openly and honestly about such a sensitive topic. Some say the movement won't yield much long-range changes, and because of the attitudes of others and policy to prevent sexual harassment that we don't really have in place. Will America change? We're delighted to have with us one of those women who shocked her family when she took to social media with the hashtag #MeToo on her social media page. Tanya Rodriguez is here with us. She's been featured. She's one of the ladies that was featured in IMARA Woman Magazine, and we're going to talk with her about what it took for her to be courageous and take a stand and share her story. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
And I would be remiss to say that it's Tanya Rodriguez Hodges.
Hodges,
Because I have been a Hodges longer than I've been a Rodriguez.
We'll be out there.
So thank you for having me. Yes, the Me Too movement kicked off, and there was a lot of hashtagging going on. And I took to social media, and I'm not really a social media person. I have been accused of not doing as much as I should by my board. And I had this conversation with my husband and with our children who are older and out of the home. And my husband was shocked because where you see me, you see him, and where you see him, you see me. And he said, when did that happen? And where was I? And why didn't I know? And he had all of these questions. And I thought, he really thinks that this is just a black and white kind of an assault occurred, I called the police and there was a police record. That's not what this is about. It's about those little innuendos that occur. It's about the words that are said and the way that they're said. It's about the way that someone taps you or touches you or handles you. It's the way in which they invite you to lunch or they ask you to come into the office or close the door behind you. It's the way that they ask you to bend over and pick something up when you know that they're capable of doing it themselves. So it opened up this whole conversation, and they were surprised by what I said. Yeah. But it was good because the last child that's in the house, who's 17, did not think of his mom in that way. Yeah. And I think that the vulnerability of it all was something that he had never seen, and then that opened up more an area we had never actually covered, a topic of areas that we had never covered before as mom and son. Because, you know, you want the boys to be gentlemen, but I had never covered well, you know, sometimes this can be misconstrued as this, and that's where this led. And I think that the Me Too movement rolling into Time's Up, man, I'm so tired of this entire process. Yeah. If we are walking into a situation, we are mighty, we are strong, we are powerful. And if I tell you something in confidence and you tell me something in confidence, and then we together are a mighty force to move forward to say this shall never happen to you, then what better way to combat this from never happening again?
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know, I think I wrote a blog, an article about this, that we really do need to come together to create some policies, and because I love the battle cries, but the battle cries are not going to get us there. We've got to really come together. What are some of the things you think we can do to start the ball to run and to change and roll and to change some of these policies that we, to address the issue in the workplace?
You know, I think that we have to go back a step because I don't think that we can jump over these hoops to get there
Yeah.
before we discuss equal pay for equal work. Unfortunately, we're going to have to undo a lot that has been so laid in the foundation, and we're going to have to break that foundation a little bit. Because what happens is you're going to have to, the crux of the issue is, I cannot force you to respect me, but if I can force you to pay me what I am worth, my fellow Joe, George, and John, then you begin to then look at me in a different way. And then we can begin to discuss the other things that are then attributed to me having shapes and figures and junk in my trunk that seem to make you feel as though you have the right to not admire it, but to also comment upon it.
It's interesting that you would say something about equal pay. There is a bill that I'm proud to say I helped co-sponsor called the Fair Paycheck Act, that actually tries to level the playing field for women. One of our candidates for governor, I won't call his name, was very instrumental in making sure that it got pushed out. And here's the deal, y'all. If you can't even talk about how much you're paid because it's against company policy to discuss your wage, how are you to ever really know that you're being underpaid? And there are lots of things that are in place that employers are doing and are allowed to do that contribute to the very thing you said, that degrade the worth of women in the workplace. Women are, in many instances, the head of their households. And if they are doing the same work, they deserve the same pay.
Amen to that.
And so there are just things that we need to do from a policy standpoint to create the kind of atmosphere that you're talking about that will allow women to realize at least their self-worth in the workplace and be paid fairly. But I think it really goes beyond that. And you talked about this conversation you had with your son, the sensitivity issue. We have to address that too. And we as women, we have a responsibility to say, you know, oh, wait a minute, that's a little too far, before it gets out of hand. And a lot of times we feel threatened if we do that. Yeah. And we have to change that atmosphere as well.
Well, that was an interesting topic that I think we could spend a lot of time on. Thank you for being here, Tanya.
Thank you.
If y'all will stay with us, when we come back, we're going to talk about gun control.
I'm a single mother, and I was the main one working, so I never thought that I could go back to school, you know. My sister, my mother, everybody wanted to help me with my kids. I could not have gotten my diploma without my family.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Well, welcome back. We are going to talk a little bit about gun reform. It seems like every time we have a mass shooting in this country, we start a dialogue on gun control and what reforms are needed, and then it all kind of just dies down after a week or two until the next shooting, and then everybody rises up again. Well, the students in Parkland, Florida have become quite a force to be reckoned with after a lone gunman massacred 17 folks at their high school just about a month or so ago. Is now the time for gun reform? And if so, what makes sense?
Why would they allow people to get, what are those little machine guns? I mean, who really needs machine guns unless you're fighting a war? And then to give guns to a 19-year-old, I think that was reckless. I mean, I think there should be reform, but I think people do have the right to bear arms, so I'm kind of on the fence there. But, I mean, do people need assault rifles?
I think that's the crux of the problem. There, you know, I'm a strong believer in the right to bear arms. I'm a believer in the Constitution. I think Second Amendment rights ought to be protected. But at what point do you say the value of the person's life who's being placed in danger isn't more important? Is that less important than your right to have a gun, any kind of gun? And the kind of gun that seems to be the choice of most mass murderers are those AR-15s, those assault-style weapons that are truly used for military purposes or clones of those military guns that shoot. I mean, you don't even have a chance. And that is, to me, the easiest thing for us to fix, but yet people are resisting, saying that they have more of a right to any kind of a gun, even though that gun could threaten the innocent lives of other people and actually take their life.
You know, I think we've got to go to where we first began. I think we need to change some policies. Of course, we need sensible gun control, and that's not hard to do. But when you're putting politics over people, party over people, then you're going to continue to do that. I think if we can get where we can limit how much money can be given, can be donated to political parties, people that are running races, then we won't have people like the NRA controlling what our government does with gun control. So I think we've got to go back and change some of that. I do agree it doesn't take the millions and millions of dollars that they spend in these campaigns. It's just ridiculous when when the U.S. ranks 3rd for child hunger in civilized countries. I've got a problem with that. So we can have sensible gun controls when we get these powers that be out of our politicians' pockets.
I think that's a good point. It's all about, and sadly, it is all about money.
It really is.
Well, Wendy, why don't you tell us a little bit about the bill that you just introduced? Because I
did.
saw a lot of my Republican friends supporting that on social media and standing with you at that press conference.
They did. A few weeks ago, I introduced a bill in the House of Representatives to ban military-style assault weapons, to ban high-capacity magazines, you know, that have those long capabilities of all these rounds in them that can shoot rapidly, and to ban bump stocks, which allow semi-automatic weapons to become fully automatic weapons. I just think that, you know, it does matter what kind of gun they use. And I know that people will say, well, you know, you're never going to stop people from doing bad things, and that's true, but we can certainly limit their ability to kill so many people at one time. And that's what's happening. They're walking into theaters, schools, churches, and they're just opening fire. And so this bill is currently in the House Judiciary Committee. I thank you for asking about it. And we're going to be pushing, we're asking folks to call their House member and call the members of the Judiciary Committee and ask them to get a hearing on that bill so that we can get it out of the House Committee and onto the floor for debate and hopefully get it passed. We have to do something. I mean, you know, the kids shouldn't be leading us. We should be leading them. But for some reason, that money that you talked about has blinded our ability.
But they're doing a really good job with leading.
They are.
They're making their
Kudos
voices
to them.
heard. Yeah.
Kudos.
They really are.
Well, and mental health is another component
It is.
of that.
It is.
That we've talked about before as well. But
it is. But people always are going to have mental health issues. They really are. You know, we're not going to be able to eliminate people from having a mental health issues, but we can curtail their ability to get guns if we don't make guns available on every street corner.
I agree. And I think we need to look at raising the age. Is something that's been discussed in the past few weeks that could be very effective. I too am a very strong proponent of the Second Amendment, but it's just gotten out of hand. What can we do? So maybe looking at raising the age, limiting purchase of bump stocks and those types of things that they're using to massacre.
Okay, so ladies, we're going to take a break, and next we have a special treat for you, and we're going to be at the IMARA Woman Kitchen with Phyllis Allen.
This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Remember that to love America is to love all Americans, because love has no labels.
So we are here in the extended IMARA Kitchen with none other than the famous Phyllis Allen, our registered dietitian, to do a couple of recipes. So Phyllis, what you got for us today?
Well, we're doing a jerk salmon, and it's grilled, and then we're doing a spicy Asian pasta salad. And you know, one of my philosophies is that healthy cooking is not boring, and you don't have to moan every time you eat something healthy. We use lots of spices, we use whole grains, we use lots of fruits and vegetables, and those are the foods that we want you to eat so that you're reducing your chance of chronic disease. And what we're going to do today, Donna's going to rub this really spicy mix onto our salmon. And it has allspice and cinnamon, and it has a little cayenne pepper, a little bit of sugar. It has onion and garlic powder and minced onion. And once she rubs that in, what we'll do is, this is just a regular pancake griddle. And I like to use it because it gives a nice glaze to the salmon. And you see it smoking, and
smells good too.
once we put this on the grill, you'll start to smell the aroma of those wonderful spices in there.
Okay. And these recipes are in the magazine, right?
Yes, yes, they are.
And she does it on our tour.
Yes, looks good. And we always do this on the tour, and it's one of the favorite recipes. With salmon, you don't want to overcook it. You generally cook it about 6 to 7 minutes per side. I have it on about 325, so it's not cooking very rapidly. And then you want to take the salmon off the heat and let it rest for a few minutes. You don't want to eat it right off of the grill, so give it just a couple of minutes to rest. And so while that's cooking, you'll start smelling those spices, and it'll make you hungry. I'm going to run over here, and we are going to make our Asian pasta salad. So would you like to have? Sure. In here we have a whole wheat pasta. And I try to find different ways to use whole wheat pasta rather than just eating spaghetti and meatballs. So this is an Asian pasta salad. It has a whole grain pasta, 100% whole wheat, and in it we have some snow pea pods. And what you have to do with those is you slice them and blanch them for about 3 to 5 minutes in hot water, and then you put them in a cool bath to stop the cooking and see how nice and green they are. And very tasty when you put them in your salad. So Wendy, since you have that there, would you like to just dump it in?
Put all of it
in there. That's about 4 cups of pea pods.
Are those fresh or frozen?
Those are fresh. Yes. And then we have a sliced red pepper. Lots of vitamin C.
It smells good.
Lots of color to this salad. And then on the other bowl, we have some sliced green onions.
For Molly?
Yes.
All of those.
That's about a 1/4 cup. It looks like a lot, but it's about a 1/4 cup. And then in our dressing, we have a low sodium soy sauce because we want, we're always concerned about your sodium intake. So we have a low sodium soy sauce, a few more green onions, a little red pepper, a little soy sauce, low sodium soy sauce, sesame seed oil, and canola oil. All those oils are good for you. You can experiment with the amount. Sesame seed oil is very, very strong. So if you don't like that strong taste of sesame seed oil, by all means cook it, take it down, and use a little more canola oil. And I have some red peppers in here, so it has a nice little kick. So just pour that on the salad.
It smells good.
Not quite like that. That's really good. And you'll just toss that all together. Do you want to toss it?
Go ahead.
Just toss that all together. And it tastes good at room temperature. Also tastes very good out of the refrigerator. It's very pretty and colorful, getting lots of fiber, vitamin C. It's rich in vitamins and minerals. And this is 1 pound of pasta. So it makes a huge amount of salad. So when you're going somewhere and you want to take something healthy, this is a great thing to take with you. It takes very little time to make it. Most of your time is used cutting up the vegetables, but that doesn't take that long. And what we're going to do is just pour it into the pretty bowl so everybody can see how great this looks. And of course, I always have stuff on the table, but we won't put that in the bowl. But it's a really gorgeous salad.
Smells wonderful, y'all.
Lots of colors. And then, if you will, those sesame seeds over there, we'll sprinkle those on.
Do you have to mix those in? No?
No, you can just put them right on top to decorate your salad. Those are toasted sesame seeds. I like to go to the Asian store because they're much cheaper. You can get a big bottle of the toasted sesame seeds for about $5, and at any other store you get a little tiny bottle for about $3. And then there is our pasta salad, Asian pasta salad.
This is like one of the most loved recipes at our tour. When it's cooking in the workshop, you should see the people rushing to get in that session.
I already did, just to save time. But as you see, it's got a nice brown color to it. There's a little bit of sugar in the recipe, and it caramelizes on with the heat and gives it that nice brown color to it. And you don't want to overcook salmon because it'll get really, really dry. So, 6 to 7 minutes, depending on how thick it is, and then let it rest before you eat it. What questions do you have? Thank you, ladies, for your help.
We have one? All right.
What's the recommended portion size of salmon in order to not compromise your cardiovascular health?
Well, salmon is one of the healthy fish that you should be eating. You should be eating fish 2 to 3 times a week. It's good for your heart, good for your brain, it's good for your overall. Now you want to cook it in this way so that you're not adding extra fat, because salmon is very rich in omega-3 fatty acids. Great for your heart, great for your brain.
And your hair and your nails.
Yes, everything. And now, they're talking about the brain-heart connection. If you have a healthy heart, you have a healthy brain. So this is very good for your body. 3 ounces is a portion.
Well, ladies, we cannot wait to taste this. Phyllis, thank you so much for coming and being with us today and getting our kitchen smelling so good. Well, y'all, believe it or not, that completes our show today. We hope that you all enjoyed it, that you learned something that inspires and empowers you. And again, let's give a real nice round of applause to First Choice and Select Health for having us in this beautiful facility. Don't forget, if you're with us, we want you to be informed and empowered.
And you can watch IMARA Woman Magazine every 4th Sunday. Check your local listings for airtime.
And don't forget to like IMARA Woman Magazine on Facebook and to follow IMARA Woman Magazine on Twitter.
And you can watch us online on IMARAWoman.com.
Well, until the next time, peace and blessings.